The dark, murky waters of the Solent are littered with a vast history, and there are many wrecks of ships, planes, and World War II tanks to discover. And now a diving team from Calshot are trying to solve the mystery of a special aircraft that lays upside down on the seabed. Richard Stringer went to find out more.
Cold, dark and eerie. Not where I would choose to go scuba diving, but for John Greenwood and members of the Calshot Sub-Aqua Club, this is just the type of waters that they regularly dive. John and the diving club have recently been commended as British wreck champions for their research into identifying a special aircraft which currently resides at the bottom of the bay.
We were coming up for our 30th anniversary a couple of years ago, and we thought we ought to do something. And we all sat around one evening, we got a chart out and said we've never actually dived anything at Calshot. We looked around the chart and there's a little mark on one of the charts that says wreck, and it's just off the outside here. So we started doing some research and we've come up with this flying boat that's mentioned in one of the books, and we thought we'd give it a go. We came down and we did some local research to talk to local fishermen. We took to the lifeboat station, and coincidentally about a month after we'd spoken to them, their anchor chain snagged onto something, and they pulled up the anchor chain. On the end they had a propeller, a very large propeller. And they went to press and they said, we found this propeller, it's a flying boat, PP118 was the number of the aircraft. And we looked at it and something didn't ring right. Something was wrong with the propeller for the type of aircraft they thought it had come from. And that's when we got interested in it. Obviously the award's been in my name, but everybody in the Calshot Sub-Aqua Club has actually helped me out. Whether it's driving the boat, whether it's actually coming down there, whether it's been giving me photos of what they've found, everybody in the group's been involved with it.
Calshot played a vital role during both World Wars, and some of that history can still be seen today.
The Calshot Activity Centre, where we are now, was originally an RAF base, started just before the First World War, and it's primarily been involved with flying boats. Every single seaplane pilot in the First World War came through here as part of their training, so there's a lot of history here. We came out a couple of weeks later on our club boat, and we did a little sonar search. We'd found a very large bump on the seabed. We'd marked it all out, and then we went about getting permission to dive it because it seemed quite an awkward place to get to. We got down there. It is a very large upside down airplane, so it's great to find something that big. We knew we were on the right sort of wreck, and so we started just piecing these pieces together. We then knew it wasn't the aircraft that was in the books, so we'd found something new, and then it was down to getting the books and doing research, visiting museums and stuff like that. What we've actually got down there is the aircraft is upside down. Obviously the floats have gone. Sometime before the 70s, a fisherman got a chain around the back of it and tried to pull it up. This thing weighs 20 tonnes. He got the tail and nothing else. From the archives, you've got the serial numbers of all of the 4 engines. That's what we need to prove. We need to find one of those engines with the serial number. And there's a step on the hull of the aircraft that's very different between different models. And again, then we started rummaging around. There's various bits and pieces you look for on these type of aircraft, the shape of the windows, the type of engines and propellers.
So what will the team need to do now to preserve the wreck, and when will they next get a chance to dive it?
It's not so much the preservation of the physical site. It's quite an awkward site to actually get to, although it's only a stone's throw from the beach. We've got the deep channel for shipping nearby. We've got a lifeboat that goes over it. It's within sight of the refinery, and they get rather jumpy when there's divers jumping in nearby. And there's a lot of current and bad visibility, so it's pretty much protected. It's been down there for 60 odd years. It's probably stay there for a few years more. What we are interested in is trying to preserve the history. We've discovered a lot of story that even the families involved didn't really know, and just bringing that out is important to me. It's a very good story. It needs to be documented and recorded. Realistically, it's probably next year now, unless the weather stays calm. Hopefully with the cold weather, the visibility may improve. But we dive all year round, so if the weather's good and the tides work out, we'll go in again soon. There's still more to be done, yeah. And when we've done this one, we'll find something else to do.
Well, it sounds like this wreck isn't ready to give up all its secrets just yet. This is Richard Stringer for That's Solent.